been built. The Long Shop Museum was one of the first production lines, or production buildings, designed by Richard Garrett. It was quite a long building. The boiler went in one end. All the subsidiaries were built on a mezzanine floor, which was above the main assembly line. And as the engine rolled through the works, so parts were bolted on it. So effectively, it came out the other end, a whole engine.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
So this is a Garrett 4CD tractor. As you can see, this one, not only is it fitted with a belly tank, but it's also on rubbers. Gives it a faster speed on the road. Would have been used for general haulage. I suppose this engine is probably good for 8 or 10 miles an hour. It's owned by John Smith of Ardley. It was originally owned by his family, and the guys who run it today actually run it for John. John is sort of well into his 70s. So it's built in 1920. Nice engine, came in under its own power yesterday, I believe, from Ardley. Probably didn't take them very long to get here. Good example of a Garrett.
That is a good shot.
Right, now during their working lives, some engines were built for one purpose and they were converted for something else. And this is a good example. Now this originally came out of the works in 1936 as a Fowler T3 steamroller. Now it is alleged that this had an accident in 1963, and in 1963 it was converted to a showman's engine. Several rollers during their working lives have been converted to showman's engines for use, obviously by with travelling fairs and that sort of thing. This is quite a nice example. There are some later examples that have been converted to showman's engines for different purposes, because obviously they attract a financial reward. But this was done in service. This now belongs to James Murdy, and James hasn't owned this too long. James has also at the moment got a Fowler T3 roller as well. So he's got 2 of these at the moment, but this is a good example.
Very good.
Quite quick on the road. The T3s were used for the T3 design was used for all sorts of general purpose and for the rollers, so that even the rollers were quite quick on the road. Single man operation, as you can see. Right, now we come to another Fowler.
Got a deal.
Now this belongs to the Higgins family, and this is a Fowler roller in its original guise. I do believe that originally it was used for tar spraying, and it may have had a belly tank fitted on it. I have seen photographs of it originally with a belly tank. But this has just undergone major work. Kevin Higgins and his family have done lots of work on this. It's had new firebox and some work on the boiler barrel, and Kevin keeps this in very good fettle. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
Now the next engine we come to, this is a Aldham Porter, slightly different. Started off as a steamroller. This was an R10 steamroller built in 1887. Now it was converted, I believe, in the 1930s by Bomford and Evershed. And what they've done is they've kept the majority of the recognisable parts of a steamroller on it, and they've replaced the steam engine with a 2-cylinder McLaren diesel engine. Now this was, as I say, a lot of them were converted within their working lifetime for different purposes. Obviously this was done because the boiler was time expired. Now the costs of repairing boilers is prohibitive, and it used to be prohibitive to contractors. I mean, it still is an expensive hobby. So what they've done here is, I believe they've used the water tank as a fuel tank. Is the water tank a fuel tank?
Wow.
He can't hear me. I'd say anything about him at all. What they've done is they've converted the water tank to fuel tank, taken the motion off, and then they've attached the diesel engine through a gearbox, through a bevel box, to the original gearing for the wheels.
Oh, that one there.
Evelyn's started building engines in 1865 in Rochester, and they worked right up to 1931, where they were amalgamated with AGE, which was Amalgamated General Engineering, when all the traction engine firms moulded into one. Right, now we come to the largest engine here today, and this is a Fowler A9 road locomotive. This is Sir Douglas, again by Fowlers of Leeds. Fowlers were prolific in building large showman's engines and haulage engines and ploughing engines, and this is a good example of an A9 road locomotive. This changed hands 3 or 4 years ago, built 1920. It changed hands. It used to belong to the Phelps family at Sybil Headingham, and they passed it on to a consortium who bought it. They reboxed it, done a lot of boiler work on it, put it back on the road. It was due a 10-year exam. I think that's why Phelps has decided to move it on. And there you go. And this is its first time at this rally for 5 or 6 years. So it's nice to see it. Nice to see it out. 10 years. Has it been that long? Was he born then? How old is he? Oh, when you were a lad. Oh, right, okay. So there you go. Very, very nice. Very powerful. Nice looking machine. Right, so now we come to another Evelyn. This is a 6-ton Evelyn. Sorry, an 8-ton Evelyn. By the name of Doris. Belongs to the Huxleys. I heard rumour that this is roaded all the way from Beaumont up here. Did you come in on by road? Yeah, so they rode it in from Beaumont, 20 miles, so there's probably 7 or 8 hours on the road. Nice little single-cylinder engine, a popular mark for Evelyn, so they sold lots and lots of these. Right, now we come to this is a new build, and this is a Tasker, Little Giant model traction engine. It's 1917, owned by S. Leake of Steeple. Very pretty little model. The models are becoming more popular now, especially the larger ones.
Yeah.
And there are several companies out there that are making them. Obviously, a model of that size, that'll be road registered, so that's perfectly legal on the road. Right, now we come to some of the smaller models. Right, so this is number 16 in your programme, and this is a Burrell 3-inch model, built 1982, owned by 2002.